Hello everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today we're going to be taking our first look at the 1984 book test by Josh Zandman. Hello my friends, and welcome back to another first look video where my job is to take a closer look at a brand new magic product before it's even been released to the public. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Zandman book test 1984, a classic novel by George Orwell. Now, I am super excited to bring you guys this one because, in my opinion, not only are the methods solid here, but the story and how you present this book test is a little bit different than a lot of other book tests that are out on the market. Now, for those of you who have no idea what 1984 is, allow me to read to you guys just a quick synopsis here on the back of the book. It's very important because these themes are going to be tied in during the actual presentation. So Winston Smith is a low-ranking member of the ruling party in London in the nation of Oceania. Everywhere Winston goes, even his own home, the party watches him, through telescreens. Everywhere he looks, he sees the face of the party's seemingly omniscient leader, a figure known only as Big Brother. The party controls everything in Oceania, even the people's history and language. Currently, the party is forcing the implementation of an invented language called Newspeak, which attempts to prevent political rebellion by eliminating all words related to it. Even thinking rebellious thoughts is illegal. Such thought crime is in fact the worst of all crimes. So basically what you have here is a fascist dictatorship that uses propaganda and gaslighting to control its populace. And there is an organization called the Ministry of Truth whose job it is to literally alter the history books. So a lot of cool stuff just as far as the themes and the tone of the book. But let's talk about what you really came here for, and that is what the heck is the 1984 book test and what does it do? Just inside this one book, you have 5 full methods packed to the teeth. You got so many cool things that you can do. You can mix and match them together. You can create your own sort of routine using the multiple different ideas that are here, or you can pick and choose the single effect that you like the most. The thing that I enjoy about this is that this is great for walk around situations, or you can even make this play big by performing for a large audience on stage. So what are the methods in here? The first one is the original Zandman book test method. If you've purchased any of Josh's books before, you already know this method. This is the one where you flip through the pages like this. The spectator says stop anytime that they want, and it doesn't matter where you stop. You have them look at the first word on the page, and you can tell them right away what word it is. Now, I already know arrived is the word here that you should be looking at, right? Really easy. And like I said, it's a fair choice. No forcing, no fishing, no guessing. I could stop here, I could stop there. It doesn't matter. And the book itself is examinable. You can hand this to the spectator. They can flip through. They can see that there's no repeating words. There's no duplicating words over and over again here as they look at the top first word on the line there. The first word changes every single time. And this really is the 1984 novel. Now, it is lightly examinable. And when I say that, basically what I mean is it passes the smell test, right? They can look at it, they can see that there's nothing really out of the ordinary with it at a glance. What they cannot do is sit down and read it from cover to cover, just like the actual novel, because of course, it's been altered to perform the effects that are included in here, so it won't really make sense if they try to do that. But it will pass the smell test, like I said. You can hand this to someone, they can check it, they can look and see, everything checks out. So that is the original Zandman method, really simple. Now, the next method, one of my all-time favorite methods, is the Pegasus page, also known as the Ministry of Love in this book test. And that is very simple. Again, you've already showed them that all of the pages are different, right? And what you're going to do this time is you're going to flip through the pages. They're going to say stop. Rather than looking at the first word on the page, they're going to look over here at the right page, and they're going to look at any word on that first line. they're going to think of that word, they're going to remember the page number, and then something really cool is going to happen. Not only are you going to read their mind and tell them what word they're thinking of, but you're actually going to produce a prediction from any impossible location of your choice. Now, in this case, I pulled it straight from my hat, but you can have this set anywhere you want. You can do it in your wallet, your pocket, your shoe. You can have this sealed inside of an envelope, taped to the back of a chair, all the way in the back of the room. It doesn't matter. You can produce this page anywhere that you want. And what you're going to do now is you're going to ask them what page number that they were at. They'll tell you the page number. You can reveal the page number, and then they'll tell you the word that they were thinking of, and you can reveal that you knew which word it was going to be because you have it circled at the top of the page there. Now, the best part of the whole thing is not only is this page torn from a book, not only is it the same page torn from a book, it is the same page torn from the actual book that they have had in their control the entire time. You hand this to the spectator, they can flip through, they're going to look for that page, and they're going to realize that the page is missing. It's been torn clean out of the book. You'll take the page that you produced, put it back inside the book, and you can show all of the seams and all of the tears and everything line up perfectly. And this is a really cool effect in general, but in this book, it's really cool because the theme is that things have been erased from history. So you can say that this page, there's no way that you could have known what word was at the page, what page it was, because that page has actually been taken from the book. I'll prove it to you, and then you flip through and you show them that the page is missing. So that is the Pegasus page, also known as the Ministry of Love. Now, here comes my all-time favorite method, specifically for this book here. And this method is probably my new favorite presentation of any book test anywhere. And that says a lot because I have some really cool book tests in my collection. Most of them Josh Zandman's, but I think this is an underrated tool because I've been performing this specific piece now. And most of the time when you're performing a mind reading trick, people go, wow, how did you do that? That's really cool. But in the back of their head, they're thinking, he must have done something, right? With this method that I'm about to explain to you, this leaves people questioning reality. Did that really happen? Or maybe their mind is playing tricks on them. And like I say with this, the 1984 book test is the only way that you can actively gaslight your spectators and have them praise you for it, because it's a really cool piece of magic. So let's talk about now this sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? The Ministry of Truth is the name of this particular piece. And again, same situation, they flip through, you stop to a random page, and you'll have the spectator look. Again, this time, instead of just looking at the first line, they can look at any word on the page. And you'll usually ask them to think of a good word, not like an is, and, the, but, or some other common word. But you'll have them think of a good word. Let's just say, I'm looking through here, and bookshelves is the word that I'm going to think of. Bookshelves, I can see it right there, smack in the middle of the page. And what I'll do then is I'll say, look at the word, but also look at the word just before it, the one just to the left of it. Memorize that word as well. That'll be sort of our reference word. And then what I would like for you to do is memorize the page number. So now you should be thinking of 2 words and a number. Really simple. The book is closed, and then you explain to them what 1984 is. You explain to them that the Ministry of Truth is a government organization that literally will alter the history books to propagandize and gaslight their populace in order to prevent a rebellious uprising, right? So really interesting stuff. And in fact, you can even ask them, have you ever been sure of something? So sure that it was true that you can close your eyes, you can see it, you can smell it, you know in your heart of hearts that it is the truth. And then you're presented with evidence to show you that you've been wrong all along. Has that ever happened to you, right? So let me ask you what word that it is that you were thinking of, and they'll say bookshelves. You'll say, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's bookshelves. I'll say, but are you sure? And they're like, pretty sure. All right, sounds fair enough. What page was it that you were at? They tell you the page number. In this case, it was 111. So we'll go to page 111. And here we are, right back at this page. And you said it was bookshelves, right? Smack right here in the middle of the page. I'm not seeing it. What was that reference word that was right before it? And they'll say little bookshelves. No, I am seeing the word little, but it's little lamp lights. Are you sure that you saw little bookshelves? Because that word is not anywhere on this page. And now you have them questioning, did I really see little bookshelves? Right? I have no idea. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And that's the thing that I think is really cool about this. So it's not like a mind reading trick. It's more of like a, what's the politically correct term to say? Mind effing trick, right? It's sort of like, it makes people really question their own sanity. And did I really see that? Did I not see that? And it is based off of a really popular concept that's old as dirt that you guys probably already know that uses a deck of cards. But what Josh Zandman did was he took that idea and put it into a book that allows you to do this really cool mind-altering effect called the Ministry of Truth. So that is, like I said, one of my new favorite pieces of magic to use with any book test. And let's go ahead and talk about now the last two methods that you can do with this. I'm talking, of course, about the tossed out book and the reverse book test method. They're both two different presentations, but they both use the same sort of technique. And basically what you do for the tossed out book is you take the book, you toss it out to the audience, you have a spectator stop at a random page, look at the last word on the page, close the book, and then hand it to someone else. The second spectator does the same thing. They flip through, they look at the last word, close the book, hand it to someone else. You do that until 5 different spectators who've each thought of a word. You get the book back, you have them all stand up, they close their eyes, they think of their word, and just without any fishing or forcing or guessing or any crowd work or anything, you point to each spectator, tell them the word that they are thinking of, and then you ask them, if I got your word right, you may open your eyes and have a seat. All 5 spectators will sit down. And it's really that easy, and you don't have to do anything. It's completely self-working. In fact, there's a technique that I teach here in the book test that you don't even need to memorize anything. So if you're like me and you have a really bad memory, this is something that you can do without having to really memorize anything. So really, really cool. Now, last but not least, what we have is the reverse book test, which uses the tossed out book method. But instead of tossing the book out and having multiple spectators choose a word, you're going to toss the book out and have one spectator choose a word. All you need to know is the page number that they're on, and you will instantly know exactly which word it is that they're thinking of. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either take the book, toss it out to a spectator, and then have another spectator name any page number that they'd like, and then you tell that spectator, go ahead and open to that page number, but don't look at the first word on the page. Instead, I want you to look at the last word on the page, and you already know, without having to guess or fish or anything, you already know which word it is that they're thinking of. Another way that you can do this is you can take this book and any other book, right? So this is another Zandman book test book, the Gangs of New York. It doesn't have to be a book test. This could be a random book off of your shelf. You toss them both out to the audience. Spectator number 1 that's holding the random book will flip through to a random page. This time, let's just say it's page 152, right? So now you're going to tell the spectator that's holding 1984 to open to page 152 in their book, right? So let's go ahead and do this now. Page 152, I'm going to ask the spectator to open to that page, and now I'm going to try to see if I can figure out which word it is that they are thinking of, right? So in this case, I'm going to say that they're going to think of the word dream. So I haven't looked yet, right? Let's go ahead and go. What did I say? 152. 152. And have a look at the last word. Hopefully you can see that. And it should be dream. And really, really simple. I hope you guys are excited about this one. I am super stoked on it. There is some really cool stuff packed into this book test. And along the way, you'll also learn some other little bits as well. That's just the 5 main effects. There's some other ideas sprinkled throughout the over an hour. It's about an hour and 18, 20 minutes, something like that, ballpark. And for those of you who don't know, I will be your instructor. So if you like me, you like my face, you like the sound of my voice, and you want to learn how to perform this book test, I invite you to join me for the tutorial where I will walk you through step by step from start to finish all the way through. And then as a nice little bonus at the end of the video, I'm going to teach you guys my routine where I kind of combine all of these things together. And you can have this be as long or as short as you want. It could be a 3-minute mind reading trick that goes from table to table, or it could be a 15-minute full-on mind reading effect involving multiple spectators coming up, and all you need is just this one book. But anyway, that is 1984, a book test by Josh Zandman based on the classic novel by George Orwell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.